What's up, everyone? Showdown Breakdown Monday Night Football edition. The Browns are at the Broncos. Low total game, 41.5 pointer. Broncos heavy home favorites in this one. And we got to break it all down for you. Hopefully everybody had a great week. It was a great, what a great slate last week was, by the way. The Thanksgiving slate, love that shit. The Friday bonus game, it's been a great one. Really enjoyed it. I want to send some shout outs, of course, to Brozone, taking down the Thursday Thanksgiving Millie Maker, as well as Jay Batias, or as I like to call him, Joey Bots, 2 Thursday million winners. Really, really good stuff. Very impressive. We had a lot of showdowns. Last night's showdown was crazy. I didn't win shit. But I felt like I was on the right place with Cook and all that, but I didn't expect the snow to be quite as intense as it was last night. Also, reminder, the Black Friday special, Cyber Monday ends today, BF 2024, 50% off your first month of BIP. Go do it now. Go do it right now. If you're not a member, do it now. All right. We've got a good one tonight, and it's a fun game. We've got Bo Nix. We've got Jameis Winston. Love me some Jammo. Of course, Denver is a very good defensive team, so we'll pay attention to that and see what we got to worry about. They have that elite CB1, who he's going to be on, and all that good stuff. So let's get into the matchups for tonight's game. And obviously, there's a lot of thought to, hey, am I going to load up on Denver defense? Well, we'll talk about that. Wendy, for showdowns, multipliers and showdowns. Love the multiplier. I think you just play them the same. So I don't have a tip because I quite honestly haven't attacked them that frequently. But I think we just got to play the multipliers the same way as we would play I do it, as the same way I would play any lineup. In other words, anything that I'd put in a big tournament and not get weird and crazy with like defense captain or anything like that. But I think we could play it pretty straight up and hopefully just pick the good player. So we'll try to make Wendy? We'll make a lineup let's make a multiplier lineup today instead of our standard kind of like cashy. We'll make something that I think works for a multiplier. Which reminds me, I forgot to reserve my lineups for tonight, and they are going to get filled up while I sit here. So while we are in live, and I understand it, I got to make sure that I have something to do after this, which is building lineups. So let's get those reserved here. And then we're going to jump right into, there we go. We're in. Okay. All right. There we go. We are reserved. I've been doing showdowns mostly on DraftKings. I haven't played as much on FanDuel because of the ties, but I kind of regret it a little bit. Okay. Matchups. So this is important actually to pay attention to because we have a lot of mysterious players on the Broncos that we really want to take a look at and understand how much playing time these guys are getting. So let's start with the running back group. And it looks like, I guess we kind of thought that there was this thought that Estime was going to take over and be the top dog for the Broncos and kind of happened a couple weeks ago. But we saw last week it went back to normal here. Javonte Williams remains 55% with his snap count. Jaleel McLaughlin playing the third down role and Estime kind of ruining both of them a little bit. Yeah, it's just a gross scene and actually made worse by the fact that Cleveland's got a pretty good defense. This isn't like excited to play running back night. Let's take a look at the rushing percentages here. Pretty equal last week. Targets, weirdly, Williams got more so on the week. And yeah, nothing for Estime. So there you have it. All right, Denver tight end position. Troutman. This is gross. Talk about hate. These guys are gross. Troutman, Kroll, and Adkins all getting a little bit of snaps. But if we look at the targets, lucky to get one per game. So I think for the most part, these are not good tight ends. And, outside of a showdown turd touchdown, like a Lucas Kroll showdown turd touchdown type of deal, I don't think we have to worry about them too much. All right. Now let's get to the very mysterious and sketchy group of, am I blocking here? Wait a minute, Kev, get out of the way. Okay, sorry about that. The very mysterious and sketchy group of wide receivers. Okay, so starting here with Cortland Sutton, 85% snap count, 23% targets, not just last week, but on the season. So he is very, very consistent. You can expect that, 1 out of every 4 passes from Bo Nix today will go potentially to Cortland Sutton. Fine. The next guy is Duvon Vele, who's been sort of the surprise step up for the team. He had a 21% target count last week, but he's had a bunch of good games this season. So, fine. Vele, very playable. Then you've got, I guess level down in the Turd zone. We got Marvin Mims and Troy Franklin, all getting some snaps and targets every week. These are not that turdly. Yeah, Jerry Jeudy got the revenge narrative. I like the revenge narrative. I'm about it. I'm about it. Then finally, little Jordan Humphrey every now and again will pop off. So I don't know if Reynolds is back. That would add to the mess. Who's Denver's corner going to be on? Good question, right? Vele, Jeudy, a mix. Don't know. Now we could look at our cornerback column and our sheet, but how accurate will that be? I don't know. All right. Changing gears, guys. Changing gears. On the Cleveland side, let's take a look at their running back group, right? So you got Nick Chubb, who in the last game they played, 65% of the snaps, to Jerome Ford's 35. Interestingly, yeah, they threw it to Nick Chubb a couple times. So it seems like Nick Chubb has settled in nicely to the lead back role here, 74% of the carries. So they're giving him all the work. Ford might get a target or two or something like that. But for the most part, this is all Nick Chubb, the Nick Chubb show, which is good. Now it's not a great matchup. Yeah, it's not a great match. And by the way, and this is what I agree with there. Thank you, Jake. Yeah, Surtain, it's hard to know who he's going to be on. They move him all around. They move everybody all around. It's hard to really run away from a cornerback nowadays. In today's NFL, it's just you don't know who they're going to be on. And you're wrong when you try to guess. All right, tight end position. Njoku, 100% snap count. But interestingly, last week, they brought in Akins and gave him a bunch of targets. So Akins played a little bit, got a bunch of targets. All 3 of these tight ends are viable plays. I think, Akins might be a, quote, turd to consider this week. Obviously, Njoku's more of a stud to consider, and Akins much more in the turd to consider category. But those targets are nothing to laugh at. 8% on the season, 15% last week, as many targets as Njoku. So, yeah, let's not sleep on Akins. At wide receiver, it's been Jeudy and Moore. And then this week, we get Jamari Thrash. And doesn't Thrash just sound like the name of somebody who could break, a showdown? Now, that being said, Jamari Thrash has caught no passes this year. So let's not get excited. Jerry Jeudy and Eli Moore. So what happened here? Chris Tillman is out this week, which means Jay Thrash is probably going to be the guy that they elevate. Jamari Thrash. I got to remember the name. Jamari Thrash is going to be the guy they bring into that role. But what's more likely to happen is just more targets for Jeudy and Moore. So we are going to play Thrash. He will be a turd that we're interested in. Jerry Jeudy and Eli Moore are very much in play. Look at all these targets. 22% last week, 20% for Moore. Great. Moore, not that good of a player. Sorry. Feel bad, but he's not that good of a player. So it's hard for me to envision Moore being the guy that gets all of the, touchdowns or anything like that. He's going to be in the mix. I don't know if I'm over the field. If you guys are asking me that question, I don't know if I'm over the field or under the field or what. until we see what the ownerships look like. You like Marvin Mims as your turd of the night? Yeah, okay. I mean, he's definitely a turd that gets some targets, so I'm cool with it. I mean, again, jumping back to the Denver group, all of Mims, Franklin, and Humphrey got some targets. This is not a normal thing. So there are live turds everywhere here. This is not the norm to see this many names. I loves me some Jameis, right? You guys know this. And he likes to sling it. So these Jameis wide receivers are the ones that are much more likely to see a heavy flow of targets compared to the other ones. Now, all right. So that gives us our breakdown. That gives us our snap counts. At this point, let's jump over to the domination station and take a look at some ownerships for the different position groups. And we'll talk through captains, flexes, get some idea of these salaries and values and all that good stuff. So hopefully if you're enjoying this, I would appreciate a smashing of the like, subscribe, notifications, and all that good stuff. We need subscribers. Every time I do a video, I need people to subscribe to the channel. That way I could tell the powers that be, the boss, listen, we're getting subs. They're like, what do you do with those? I don't know. More people to watch the channel. Got to tell the boss. Okay. Let's take a look at the captain position here. And as I like to do, we will sort by projected ownership and see who's popping. And then we'll get to the turd zone. Yeah, people like Mims. Okay. Okay. A lot of Mims love in the chat. I like it. Okay, so looks like Bo Nix is projecting as by far and away the highest owned player at 30%, which is weird. Let's take a look at his prop projection. Yeah, so there you go. He's by far and away. Where is Njoku? Yeah, 8%. So you've got Bo Nix as your top dog, 30%, massive ownership, running quarterback. He projects very well. Projects massively above everybody else. Look at the projection difference. Bo Nix comes in with a captain projection of 26.5. These are the prop-based projections. The next highest guy is Cortland Sutton at 22. And then Winston, and then Judy down here, and then up to Njoku. So I think the first thing that I'm seeing here that stands out is that Jerry Jeudy's prop projection at 18 is the third highest projection, the fourth highest on this entire slate, but his ownership is not nearly as high. I think this seems too obvious. I think I'm hearing this a lot. Defense, kicker, kicker, defense, pick Sixton, Jameis stinks, Denver going to smash him. Maybe that's going to happen. Maybe. I don't mind building some lineups for that, but I also kind of think, what if he's not that bad? Yeah, if certain, I mean, all right, let me present this possibility. If Surtain was going to blanket Judy like that, why aren't you betting the unders on Judy's props? Because Judy props out very expensively. Yeah. He props out very expensively. So you could bet that. We're just, these are neutral measures, right? When I use the prop projection here, that's neutral. We could bet it, bet the under. So, you know, John Marchese, were you the one who called out Freiermuth? Was that you? Fucking nailed it. Somebody in the chat nailed it. Yes, it was you. I was thinking about you all of Sunday when Freiermuth was going off. I really was. I was like, John, I hope you played a bunch of him because I didn't. That was a good call. All right. Yeah, Bo Nix makes sense. He's a running quarterback. If we play him at captain, we just stack him with one. We don't got to double stack Bo Nix. Yeah, Cortland Sutton up there. I get that. Yeah, Jerry Jeudy, I would say above Njoku, although Njoku makes sense here. Jameis Winston, not much of a running quarterback. I don't think he is a super good captain play here in a bad matchup. Yeah, it's a lot of Surtain versus Judy. Yeah, Judy sometimes plays out a slot, but so does Elijah Moore. So it's, I don't know. Devon Vele. So people are having a hard time figuring out this captain spot because after you get through these sort of big names, then, I mean, Javonte, or gross, right? Ugh. Not excited about that. Jerry Jeudy, okay. Devon, maybe at this price. Nick Chubb does not rate very well. Moore doesn't rate out well. The rest of these guys really don't rate out well. So this seems to me like you really got to choose between some of these premier names. I would include Jerry Jeudy and maybe even Veli in there. So for me, it would probably be Nix, Sutton, Njoku, Jeudy, and Veli as Jeudy and maybe some Veli as my 5. Do we think Reynolds is coming back today? Yeah, ready to be hurt by Estime. Oh man, it's brutal. That's what's so brutal about these showdowns. How about last night's showdown? Who had DeMercado or whatever the hell, that going on was? All the turds went crazy yesterday. I normally play the backup running back, but I didn't even get to him. All right. Yeah, that's basically it. I think we're going to play, if it's Bo Nix, I'm stacking him with 1. Cortland Sutton probably stacked with Bo Nix, but Bo Nix in the flex, right? Njoku, yeah, I'm probably stacking a pass catcher with their quarterback. And then you have the running backs. Guys, if any of you know of any weather conditions for tonight in Denver, let me know. I don't know of any weather conditions or that there's going to be any issues with the weather. So if any of you guys are aware of anything like that, certainly let me know. Now, continuing on here, let's talk about the turd zone. So if we start our lineups with Nix or one of these guys, and we'll include Jameis, we sort here by salary. I don't think I'm going to use Nick Chubb up there. I really have to think about if I'm interested. But Jeudy, yes, and Njoku, yeah, a little bit. And so I think that's who our group will be. Broncos defense at 5,400. Yeah. They're going to be 26% owned in the flex. Yeah, sounds about right. I'm not going over on that. No, that's not for me. 26% sounds about right. Kickers, yes, of course. 39 degrees, 3-mile-per-hour wind. So basically perfect. This is perfect football conditions tonight. I think we could see more offense than people think. Like, why does Cleveland have to be shit? They could play well. Could happen. I'm not giving up on my boy, Jameis Winston. Absolutely not. I don't care what you guys say. Not listening. Yeah, Jaleel McLaughlin, Jerome Ford, all very unexciting options. I think Jaleel is an acceptable turd. So we'll live with a lot of these kickers. Yeah, I could see it. Just everybody thinks it's going to be a Winston captain, Jake P. I don't like to use that style of quarterback as a captain. I think I don't like to use that style of quarterback as captain. It's that simple. Unless he's running for a touchdown, I don't think he gets there. So that'll be one of the ones that I'm personally going to fade, for better or worse. Yeah, it could be a stinker. By the way, both of these teams play really good defense. Yes, I do. And people are forgetting that Cleveland is a good defensive team, and it could shut down a quarterback like Bo Nix. And then you get this low-scoring stinker, where the kickers and maybe some wide receivers who caught a bunch of passes get there ahead of everybody else. So, yeah, I would definitely consider that eventuality. Guys, this zone here is really, really important for us. Everyone from Little Jordan Humphrey, Troy Franklin, Mims, Akins, and even Thrash, I would consider to be somewhat relevant. Could you play double D? Yes, I think so. I don't love it. I wouldn't do a lot of it, but if you played one, I would be okay with it. So again, back to this zone here. The reason I'm mentioning it also is because Hey, look at the props. They're all the same. 4.9, 4.8, 4.1, 3.7. They're all about the same. So they all project kind of similar. And we just have to mix them in. There's no way of knowing which one is going to be better than the others. It looks like the field likes Mims Jr. a little bit. To me, it doesn't make much sense that Mims Jr. would be like more owned than, I don't know, Little Jordan or one of these other ones. Would I make a rule for only one of the 3 Denver running backs? Yeah, I think that's a fair rule. Yeah, I would avoid more than one of them. Yeah, to me, that's a fair rule for this thing. And by the way, this partiality, that's what you're going to have to do. Where's Reynolds? Why are you guys talking about Reynolds? What am I missing here? Josh Reynolds is back. You think Reynolds is playing this week? Got a Q tag. Yeah, I guess if he plays, we can play a little bit of him. Right now, we've got him. We're assuming that he's going to be out. So if he does play, yeah, there it is. DF is saying he's out. So like if Reynolds plays, change it up. Yeah, there it is. All right, he's out. So forget the Reynolds shit. All right, thank you. Yeah, he's on IR. So there you go. I don't think Reynolds is playing. So there we go. Yeah, and the rest of these turds, Kadarius Toney, yeah, I mean, if you want to get crazy silly for the millie, he would have to take one to the house. Adkins, Turd. It's just thrash. So for me, the turd zone here is thrash. A little bit of Troutman, maybe. Akins, Mims, Franklin, Little Jordan. They're all very turdly. And yeah, we get on Velli. Velli's a good play. No. At this point, whatever John says, I'm basically going to do. After the Freiermuth call. Playing Krull. So, yeah, that basically breaks down these 2 teams right now. So let's take a look at DraftKings, see if we can build sort of a multiplier / GPP type lineup here. And, salaries are important when we're building these. So I do like to start with a slightly lower cost, but with some upside play here. Let me take a look at what these guys are actually priced at. So, yeah, Velli 6,400. That's not bad. That's pretty cheap. And Njoku 8,400. Judy 9K. I like Judy. So let me see if we could pop Judy up here as our starting point. Sutton works too. Don't get me wrong. He's probably the better play of a pay up option. But it's a little too easy and he's a little too expensive. So I want to try something that isn't him. Put in Devon Valet. He's been great. We want to get Bo Nix in there. Jamo, I can be with or without. Probably get a little Cortland Sutton in there as well. So we got Nix, Velli, Sutton, Jerry Jeudy here. And, I mean, we could just go running backs. Let's see here. Kicker, defense, running. I don't want to use a defense. It's almost guaranteed that. Oh, there it is. Well done. So it's almost guaranteed that Denver gets turnovers in this game. I really feel like that's a high possibility. So be aware. I also like Denver kicker. So if we put a Will Lutz in there, that leaves you in a pretty gross place with this lineup. It actually doesn't work. So what would I have to do? I'm trying to build sort of a high likelihood of being successful lineup here. And none of these guys give you high likelihood of success vibes. I guess Little Jordan is okay sometimes. Everybody likes Mims. He's coming off of 5 targets. All right, what if you went Mims? I mean, that's very low likelihood. But from here, we could play like an Eli Moore or something like this. Yeah. If I'm only doing a couple of single entry GPPs, should I use optimal? None of that is relevant if you're just making a couple of lineups. Just play it optimal. It doesn't matter. It's not relevant. Yeah, could go to Denver defense if we wanted here, but this kind of stands out to me. This looks pretty good. Let me see. Mims Jr. So basically, it's this last spot that's kind of sketch or questionable. The other way to do this, I think, yeah, 3,300 left. Basically, you got to go Little Jordan or Franklin or Mims, one of these three. And that's a lot of Denver pass catchers. I'd rather play, I got Eli Moore in there. Who's the WR3 again for the Cleveland side? That would be Thrash. That's really interesting. So if we went with Thrash, then 7,500, is that enough for more? You can get Javonte or Veli in there. Okay. Interesting. Nix, Sutton, Veli, Moore, Judy, Thrash. Yeah, it could be Humphrey. By the way, this last spot, you can do whatever you want, but I kind of like this one. I don't think Thrash is going to do anything, but you know what? YOLO it. I like this for the contest. So, oops, already in there. Put it in something else. There we go. Okay. Now, I think this is, talk about multiplier. Yeah, this is a multiplier-worthy type of lineup. Let's put it in that. Super Booster. Don't forget to play these Super Boosters. By the way, if you guys, those of you who are DFS Army subscribed and were with me for the Players Club this weekend on Saturday, where we were building lineups, we cashed tons of multipliers this weekend. It was awesome, and I felt so good about it. We had Irving and Chase Brown as our running back combination with Ladd McConkey pretty much in every single lineup we built. It was awesome. It was awesome. So, yeah, those lineups crushed, and I know a lot of guys build along with me, so hopefully a lot of you guys who are here live, we're going. Cyber Monday, you say? BF 2024. There it is. Get in there. Get in there. BF 2024. You have until the end of today. You might as well take a half-price month, see what you like. Mims or Humphrey, I don't have an answer for this. I don't know. I don't know. How could you know? They project exactly the same. So, you got a number on them. Mims, here. Mims, 4.8. Humphrey, 4.9. That's based on the props. So, Humphrey wins, except he's more expensive, so it's kind of the same. Yeah, go with your feeling. Go with your feeling, absolutely. I can't stop the feeling. Got to go with it. All right, let's talk a little bit of FanDuel. Everybody loves FanDuel, right? Showdown, Monday night. FanDuel. Now, FanDuel, I think we can actually get really skinny with what we're doing. Take a look at FanDuel. Talk about a multiplier. Hold on, let me find this thing. Monday Rush, is that this? Yeah, okay, hold on. Okay, so Thrash Cash, I like it. FanDuel rewards touchdowns above all. It is not a PPR site. I would say that it's highly unlikely that on FanDuel tonight, anybody except for Bo Nix is going to be the captain. That's how intense this one is. Could see maybe like Javonte Williams just sneaking in there. But the most likely captain is Bo Nix. We plug him in up top. And then you got to find ways to get different and interesting on FanDuel. Let's take a look here. Yeah, potential captains, Jameis, 17%. And then it's like a little bit of Chubb. Okay. A little bit of Javonte, barely anything considering these are starting running backs. So for FanDuel, we don't need to go too much beyond that. We need to just lock in our points. Yeah, Denver defense could be interesting here. Kickers are inexpensive, especially Cleveland kicker. So we can get in on that. So here, let's just make our very basic FanDuel lineup here. In the flex, we want to get a kicker from Denver. That's Will Lutz. We can play Denver defense if we want to get crazy. 12-5. Bo Nix is in there. Javonte and Jameis. JMO if you play Jameis, we're going to have to play the other kicker. I like this. This is fine. Denver defense can be switched. Yes. For Eli Moore or Bronco. Why did I play? Yeah, we went Broncos defense. Yeah, I'm sticking with it. Couldn't get to Judy. Couldn't get to Javonte. Could play it just like this, guys. This is a bridge too far for me to take, my man. No, I don't know who gets the boost. At that point, it's all over. And it's Njoku who gets that boost, by the way. Not Elijah Moore can only do what he can do. He's just this short targets guy. I don't know. I've never seen him do anything else. So, no, I don't think it's Elijah. I think it's Njoku or Akins. We forgot to play Akins, by the way, on FanDuel. So this is the cashiest version of a lineup that I could think of, right? This is cash. The only thing that you could change from this, yeah, I haven't taken any gummies yet. So the only thing you could change from this to, in my opinion, would be maybe try Eli Moore or Devon Valley instead of like one of these kickers or something like that. But I think this is the safest cash. But on FanDuel, if we scroll down a little bit, there are definitely some plays here that I think you're going to need if you're trying to win the tournament this week. Akins, touchdown scorer, 7K. Not Adkins, Akins, touchdown scorer, right? That guy's in play for Cleveland. I mean, Thrash is down here. No one's going to play him. I don't love it, but any of these turds, Mim and Franklin, kind of playable. And then if you want to get weird, Audric Estime is if Denver just randomly shifts back to it has little Jordan. So FanDuel is really actually kind of fun if we get a little creative here. Yeah, the only change I could think about making, if we don't think Denver defense is going to shine. There's Hobie Hall. What's up, my man? Good to see you. My guy. I think this is it. I think this is the easy one. Bam. My day ones. Hell yeah. Audric is estimated to shit the bed. That is most likely what will happen. This lineup I just put in is actually not good for a big tournament. It's much more something that you'd want to put in a 50-50 or something like that. So let me just pull that up here. Contest type. Could do like a 3x or this is more good for that. So I'm just gonna enter it here in real time. What the fuck did I just do? All right, I don't even know what I just did. Forget it. Single game. Yeah, there it is. Yeah, I just want to enter this in a 50-50 to see. What is the ideal person of color in showdowns on both FanDuel and DraftKings? I am not going to answer that. I find it inappropriate to even ask such a question. Are we talking cat? Oh, you POC. I listen. I have no idea what the fuck you're asking. I don't know what a POC is. I'm assuming it's inappropriate, and I'm just not. I don't even know what the fuck we're talking about anymore. Trying to get me canceled, free Sean? Oh, projected ownership cap. Really? Projected ownership cap. All right, I'm going to show you how to do the projected ownership cap so that you're able to do it. And then it doesn't have to be asked. I don't like to use ownership caps that much on showdowns. I use a fucking ownership cap on Thursday, and the dudes, everybody won who didn't use the cap. They tied it, but everybody won. But here's what you do, okay? We're going to run this. Just run 40 lineups with nothing, clean. Yeah, everybody got it. Like, I wasn't the only one who's like, what the fuck is POC mean? Whatever it is, I don't know. I just ran. What am I looking at here? DraftKings. Okay, so I just run 50 lineups with no options, with no restrictions. Then I sort by total P owns, and the highest I can get is 198.24%. There you go. So Mr. 5 saying 190, but 198 is the highest. So then I'm going to scroll down. So I made 40 lineups here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to scroll down. I like to take out like the top 10 to 12% of them. So figure like the top 5 lineups. So I'm going to go down lineup to number 5 on this run. Even number 6. Yeah. So anything from 190 really isn't going to take much off for you. So if we're at 180, I think we're pretty safe here. So that'd be lineup 18 out of 150 lineups. So the top 18 won't show up. So I think there it is. Thank you for that. We're just busting chops. But I think so for me, just looking at it, again, it's not always this, but I would say about 180 today seems right. So that's where I would set mine. It takes off the top 15%. And effectively, by the way, you guys talked up some of the other sites. This is what that is. Like when you do contest sims, it's just taking out the chalkiest lineups. And so if you just remove the top 15% of lineups out of 150 lineups, it's the exact same thing. That's what that does. Jasic Hemi, any rules needed today? Yeah, I mean the standard stuff. If you're playing Knicks, I'm stacking with 1. If I'm playing Winston at captain, I'm definitely stacking him with 2. So if I'm playing a pass catchers, I'm tying them in with their quarterback. If I'm playing a pass catcher captain, I don't think we should avoid double kicker. I don't think we should avoid more than one tight end on the same team. So I'm not going to have any rules for that. I do think maybe Veli and Javonte Williams don't belong together. I probably wouldn't use Chubb and Ford together. But outside of that, that's about it. That's all I can think of. Just a couple of ways. Yeah, this slate it's not, it's not the sexiest slate. I think Double D. I think Double D is okay. I think Double D is fine. Like if you play both defenses, I actually think that might work. So, all right, I'll give you some sneaky stuff. And I love the Double Ds. You know what's up. But I have a sneaky thought that while everybody, I did this the other day, while everybody is focused on Denver defense, maybe play some elevated Cleveland defense, because Bo Nix is a rookie and Cleveland defense has been pretty good. So I think that's a sneaky way to attack this, where Cleveland defense does a little bit better than people think, especially when everybody's thinking one way. Way too many people like Denver captain today. Now, I get it. I understand why, because Jameis Winston, he turns the ball over under pressure. Like, we know who he is as a quarterback, but he's out there slinging it. He's having fun. But Bo Nix is a rookie, and he is prone to making mistakes as well. So I think that's the sneaky thought that I would have for this one. That's like the sneakiest thought that I've come up with. It's just maybe play a little more Cleveland defense. Definitely have some of these kicker. I don't know what to do with expensive ass Nick Chubb at this price. He's really tough to play. Yeah. Yeah. No one likes playing Double D. Double D is like betting unders. No one bets the unders. People like to bet the overs, unless you have the Proptimizer, bet some unders. But people like to bet the overs. So there's that. All right, guys. I think that does it for the Showdown breakdown. We've got a good little game to finish out the week. Just some side notes. If you're playing redraft, Garendo, Mason, and CMC are on IR for the 49ers. So Isaac Garendo is an empty, I think that's his name, is an empty the fob situation for season long, right? Not to mention week 14, it's playoff week, and there's a ton of buys this week. I don't know why the NFL does this. Like, do they not know it's the last week to make the playoffs in your fucking season-long league? So I thought I thought it was a career ender when I saw the snap in the back of his foot. It looked like his calf completely tore off the muscle, but that's not what happened. So, yeah. John says, play some DTR, man. That's how you win $1 million, man. If you're right. Yeah. If you're right, that's how you win $1 million. Okay. All right. That's going to do it for this one. Like, subscribe, notify, code BF 2024. Last chance to get DFS Army VIP. Everything we do, optimizer projections, notes, cheat sheets, community. The community alone. It's my favorite part. Hanging out with you guys. And a reminder, as we're coming off of Thanksgiving, I'm really thankful for you guys watching these videos, hanging out. I appreciate your comments. I appreciate, your kind words. Hopefully you get a laugh or two every once in a while and maybe even help you win a tournament. But most important, that we're having fun. We're doing what we like to do. We're watching football. We're betting the games. Don't go crazy. Don't bet your rent money. Please, please, please don't go crazy. Have fun with this. This is recreational stuff. So make sure you do that. Have a great, holiday season right now coming up. Don't spend your kids' Christmas money on this stuff. But, if you do win, hopefully you buy your kids some nicer Christmas presents because, they need to participate in your wins as well. So good luck, everybody. DTR does suck. Like, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.